But yeah, after that one, and then the first week of high school, this one. All right.
It's always the end opposite.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Good afternoon. Aggie, right? Aggie, right. All right, North Carolina A&T got a win on Saturday. How about that? North Carolina A&T had two runners go over 100 yards. That's the first time that's happened in 5 years. B.J. Turner today was named Co-Defensive Player of the Week by the CAA. His 19 tackles are the most by an A&T Aggie in 9 years. They are also the second most tackles in the nation this season. A&T also had two runners score 2 touchdowns apiece. That's the first time that's happened in A&T history in 7 years. And most importantly, our head coach, Mr. Vincent Brown, got his first collegiate win. And so you've heard enough from me. Let's bring up our head coach, Vincent Brown. With us today will also be our players, Kade Mulder and Jason Ivey, our left tackle. Coach.
It's a great day in Aggie land, and I truly mean it. I just want to share with you my message to the team after the victory, which was, you guys have fought through a lot of adversity, a lot of questions, many challenges along the way. And, we talked to them about blocking out the external noise because only really the players and coaches within the program know what's actually happening on a day-to-day basis with our team. And I was just so happy for them because they fought through, which I thought was a very worthy opponent, an opponent that had gone on the road to beat two previous CAA teams that ran for 350 yards the week before. And our guys, in spite of the challenges, and it wasn't pretty the whole way, found a way at the very end to come out with the victory. So congratulations to our players and our coaches for persevering through what has been some very challenging last few weeks. We know there are greater days ahead for us and for our program. At one point, I looked out defensively, and we had 5 freshmen on the field, 5 freshmen, 2 true freshmen in our starting lineup. And so we know that there's a lot of growth to go along with some of the growing pains that we've experienced earlier. As I shared with our guys, it's one win, but it's a very important win for us for us to see what it feels like and to see your hard work actually pay off with the victory. I thought our offensive line was awesome on Saturday. They strained, to finish. They created openings for our running backs. Our backs ran extremely hard. Offensively, when we had to have it at the end, our backs and our offensive coordinator and offensive line coach did a great job of schematically putting the plays together to allow us to finish the game. Defensively, we had some highs and lows. Obviously don't want to give up 3rd and 17, but when the game was on the line, one of the better players in the country right now is BJ Turner, and he had an unbelievable game for us and really kind of led our guys to victory Saturday at Norfolk State. So with that, any questions?
Coach Luke Williamson, the Black College Sports Page. Now that you've saved your job, you talked last week about you would evaluate the quarterbacks and make a decision, and you obviously decided one of those 5 freshmen that you played and had on the field was your quarterback. Talk about what went into making the decision to go with Kevin White. What did he show you this week? And had you kept him out basically just to let him get acclimated to the college game before you threw him into the fire? And who's going to be your starter this week?
So there's quite a few questions in there. First and foremost, as you said, and we do this throughout, every position. We evaluate every player, every play, every day, and we make the decisions on who's going to play, who's going to give us the best chance to win that particular game. And we felt like coming out of our bye week that Kevin had made a lot of progress over the last few weeks. And with some of the challenges that we've had in the earlier games, we felt like some of the things that he was able to do with his legs might give us a greater opportunity to come out ahead. He's a very talented young man. He's got a great future in front of him. He's poised beyond his years. And we just felt like this particular week, he gave us the best chance to win the game.
And Saturday?
This coming Saturday, we're going to evaluate every player, every play, and we'll see what happens. But, you have to, if you look at the game and the way things unfolded, we scored more points Saturday than the previous 3 games combined, which is something that's very important. We talk offensively. Yards are great. It's great to throw for 200 or 300 yards and run for 300 or 400. But at the end of the day, it's all about points. It's all about producing points offensively and defensively, keeping points off the board. And so those are the things that we're looking for. How do we create more points offensively so at the end of the game, we have 1 more point than the opponent does?
Coach, Colin Avery with the Register. With you being a former linebacker, how impressed are you with BJ's Turner performance?
I was extremely impressed. BJ has been one of the best players in the country throughout the first 4 weeks of the season. He has been unbelievable. He's got high motor and extremely high football IQ, and football is important to him. He asks great questions. He has a great understanding of the game, and he really has become the heart and soul of our defense, showing some of our younger players what it is to prepare like a big-time college football player. So I was very excited for BJ. I think he's got a tremendous future in front of him and looking forward to continued great things from him.
If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll bring you the mic.
Just back to the quarterback question. So you played 3 quarterbacks, started 3 quarterbacks so far this season. How difficult is that to go to a week where, I guess, somebody getting first team reps? Like, how do you split that up now? And will Kevin get the brunt share of reps going into the Villanova?
Yeah, so we always have a plan as to how we're going to divide the reps. And obviously it's very challenging to get 3 quarterbacks reps during the course of the week. And so we really try to focus in on who are the top 2 guys this week. Sometimes there are guys that have injuries that you guys don't even know about. We know about it that may prevent them from being able to effectively go in the game and play. And so, we make our decisions based on a myriad of factors, how they're performing, their health status, and everything else in between.
Coach, for you, how special was it to get that first win as head coach? How special was it for you to get that first win as A&T head coach?
It was awesome. It was more enjoyable for me to see our kids celebrate and our coaches celebrate because of, I've been through a lot of different scenarios, been part of winning a lot of great games and losing, some really tough games. And to see the work that our kids put in and to do it with a lot of kids that hadn't had a lot of playing experience was probably the most satisfying part of it. So it was rewarding for me, but it was even more rewarding to see our players be able to celebrate.
Building momentum from last week to this week. What are you telling your players, to expect from a tough Villanova team?
Yeah, it is a very well-coached team. Coach Ferrante has done a great job of building that program. They were a quarterfinal team just a couple of years ago. They got talent. They have experience on the defensive side of the ball, a bunch of grad transfer players. They got veteran players. The quarterback's a very talented player, dual threat quarterback. But we tell our guys, this is always about us. And it may sound cliche-ish, but it is the truth. It is about our preparation. It is about our individual efforts and our individual matchups each and every week. And so we focus on those things. We look at things that we need to improve on, and we try to build our plan around that.
So, with you already having great running backs, what dynamic did the quarterback Kevin White add to your offense?
It just add a different dimension for the defense to have to defend. We know we got two really talented backs in Wesley Graves and Kenji Christian, and now you add a third element, especially when you can get him on the perimeter and in space. And I believe the more we can create opportunities for all three of those guys, inside runs on the perimeter, design quarterback runs, that it will help open up the passing game for us.
Coach, looks like wins bring out the fans. What do you think about that? I've just been here last week. Anyway, Coach, you talked about the passing game. What about how do you think he did in terms of, he didn't get the triple digits in passing. I know you just said it's not about the yards, but do you think he passed effectively?
Yeah, we only threw the ball 10 times on Saturday, so we'd like to have a little more balance than that. I thought he gave our receivers a chance on many of the passes that he did throw. The one interception was a little bit high and behind the receiver, but as I told the receiver, hey, that ball hit you in the hands. You got to come down with it. And so part of his and all of our quarterbacks' development is giving the receivers a chance. Ball placement, making sure the receivers have a chance to come down with the ball. And, I thought KJ did that. I think the more experience that he gets, the more opportunities that all of our guys get to develop as passers, you'll see our passing game improve.
Coach, after 4 games, is there any part of your program you think is ahead of schedule right now?
I wouldn't say ahead of schedule. I just think, obviously very pleasantly pleased with the performance of BJ Turner, Kenji Christian, Wesley Graves. Those guys have produced, in spite of the challenges early on this season. And, we just have to keep working to put the complete plan together offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game.
That second half when Norfolk State was making their comeback, was that just some miscommunication or was that fatigue? What do you attribute most of that their ride to?
Yeah, so there are a couple of things there. There are, mental mistakes, guys losing contain, which allowed the quarterback to get outside of the pocket, not having rush lane integrity. Again, quarterbacks able to step up and scramble and complete some throws, not being able to understand route concepts based on the coverage that we're playing. We had some guys in a couple of different positions there. And so when you add up those different things, it created opportunities for them. Probably the biggest thing is the turnovers that gave them an opportunity to get back in the game. The muff punt and obviously the interception there in the fourth quarter that gave them a little bit of momentum going forward.
Coach, I know
Coach, I know you always talk about how, you're constantly evaluating guys, seeing what they do in practice. In terms of the quarterback, starting decision, was there something that you saw in him during practice or leading up to the game that, caused you to go with him over other options?
Absolutely. As we evaluate the players and we grade every play that they're a part of, and we start to look at, well, how do we best move the ball against these guys? And looking at the way that Kevin performed during practice, the things that he brings to the table from a running game standpoint, we just felt like this week he gave us the best chance to win the game. And, we said, and I've said, one of these guys is going to separate himself sooner or later. And once that happens, we'll have our starting quarterback.
You mentioned a little bit about what you know about Villanova. In terms of what they have done this season, what's been the difference in what you saw from them last season?
Well, a lot of things are schematically the same. There's still a 3 down front. There's a lot of movement defensively. Offensively, they spread you out. A lot of 4 open sets. They got good backs. The quarterback, Connor Watkins, is a true dual threat player. He can make plays running and throwing the football. And they're well coached. So, they're going to be in the right spots and they're not going to beat themselves. If you look at their game against Rhode Island 2 weeks ago, they put up 31 points and ran for close to 300 yards on the ground. So they got some talented players, and we're going to have to play at our best in order to beat them.
Coach, can you speak to Amonte Jones' amazing catch over 2 defenders? What did you think when the ball was in the air and when he threw the ball?
Yeah, like I said, I think the limited number of times that Kevin threw the ball, he placed it to give the receivers a chance. And I thought Amonte did a phenomenal job of going up and attacking the ball. And that's one of the things that, we've shared with our receivers. The ball isn't always going to be perfectly placed for you. You have to attack the ball aggressively. And when the ball is in the air, it should belong to you.
Coach, this is a question about Kevin also. I know he's from the Tidewater, where you coached last year. Were you familiar with him? Did you recruit him at William & Mary? What's the deal?
Well, I didn't. That wasn't my recruiting area, but we knew about Kevin. We just, we weren't in position at that point to be able to take a quarterback.
I thought a big moment for the Aggies early on, a snap, going through the end zone. I liked the fight that I saw, not letting that get to you guys. What was the message after that safety and, making sure your guys didn't kind of lose that early momentum?
It's the same message we've shared with them all season long. Do not look at the scoreboard. The scoreboard is irrelevant. Do what you've been coached to do, play with, fanatical effort, and then the scoreboard would take care of itself. And for the first time this season, when the momentum shifted, I didn't see guys with their head down. It was like, we got this. We're still in the lead. We just have to finish the game. And so for me, that was a very positive step for us.
And I guess, in terms of this game against Villanova, what do you think will be the biggest key factors in terms of deciding the outcome here?
Protecting the football first and foremost, eliminating explosive plays. If you look at, what happened to us Saturday, we gave up some explosive plays, especially late there in the fourth quarter, and then creating our own. Like I said, I thought our offensive line did an unbelievable job. Some of the kids like Jason Ivey, who's here, just watching him strain to move people to give our backs a chance. Our backs ran really hard, but our offensive line blocked a heck of a game for them Saturday.
Just coming off this bye week before this game, what was one thing from a coach's standpoint that you feel like you discovered or you utilized your time the best this past bye week that made a difference?
Yeah, we went back to the fundamentals. Defensively, we tackled way better. Now, we gave up some explosive plays, not being in proper rush lanes and contain and things of that nature. But we tackled much better than we had the previous week and earlier in the season. And then offensively, I thought we did a better job of putting the plan in place to attack the different areas of the field. So we got the ball on the perimeter more than we had previously. And we got to continue to find ways to get the ball into the hands of our very best playmakers. And we will do that.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
My pleasure.
The Aggies ran for 275 yards on Saturday. A big part of that was our left tackle, Jason Ivey. Coming to the microphone now will be Mr. Jason Ivey. When he gets here, the floor is open for questions.
What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Question.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, sir.
I thought, those two big runs, the read option, a couple wrinkles off of that, some fakes in the backfield. What does that do for the playbook? The different components of, having a rushing quarterback and, setting up different things that the offense does.
I feel like that was, can you repeat your question one more time? I'm sorry.
I felt like a couple big plays for you guys against Norfolk, or those two big runs from the quarterback, and even that big run from Christian, kind of from the read option, or faking it to the back. What does that offense do to create plays in the playbook and open things up?
Just having a dual threat quarterback like Kevin is, I feel like that opened up. Oh, I'm sorry. Having a quarterback that can run as fast as Kevin, that opens up a lot of the playbook. So I feel like having the running backs that we have, we can run the ball against anybody with our offensive line. But with Kevin, I feel like that makes a good difference because of his speed. That's how I feel. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Check.
Jason. Okay, Jason. Talk about the mood of the team after this win.
It was a great win for us, and we felt very excited after that win, and I feel like that was a confidence builder that we needed to roll into this next week. And we're just grateful and excited for that one.
Congrats on your first win, Jason.
Appreciate
Obviously, first 3 ball games, very frustrating. What do you all think this first win is going to do for y'all's confidence moving forward?
Oh, it's going to build it tremendously, and I feel like like Coach Brown said, it's about us. And if we play mistake-free football and do what the coaches ask of us and execute every play that they call, we'll be just fine.
Similar circumstances to last year, y'all started off 0-3. Got that first win, and you just kept going from there. Think something similar like that could happen this year?
Yes, sir. Why not? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's we have the guys to do it. We have the coaches to do it. I feel like, this is just the beginning.
Any questions for Jason?
I know that Coach Brown mentioned that they run a 3-man front. And I know sometimes you guys haven't gotten into your team film sessions yet at this point, but in terms of what Villanova does, are you aware of what they do schematically, on the defensive front?
No, sir. I haven't really got into it yet. We will watch film today. But like Coach Brown said, they are a 3-down front team. I know that. And they play hard from what I heard. And like I said, I mean, if we play mistake-free football and you just put that ball down, we'd be ready to go.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Kade Mulder, a true freshman, got the start at linebacker on Saturday. Came up with 7 tackles, 1 for loss. And as he comes up to the microphone, the floor is open for questions.
Good afternoon, y'all.
Kade, first name, Kade?
Cade.
Yeah, tell me how you got the A&T.
Well, in my college recruitment, it was about the last week before signing day, and Coach finally called me, got me up here for OV, and I fell in love with the place. You know, just the atmosphere, the people, the tradition. It's just where I wanted to be.
Where you from?
I'm from North Georgia.
And which coach called you? Which coach called?
Coach Brown. Coach Brown. Yes, sir.
Coach Brown talked about, the improvement from a tackling standpoint. In your eyes, just from a player's perspective, what were you seeing from the defense individually, collectively, that, in your eyes made the difference in terms of, having that better defensive performance this week?
We definitely took our tackling drills a lot more serious after Elon, and we improved a lot over the bye week and just schematically and physically got it down. Oh, thank you for the question.
Hey, you've been practicing your butt off since July. How does it feel to have all that work pay off, not only with the big game for yourself, but with a win, your first win of the season for the team?
Winning in itself feels amazing. It doesn't matter where I was at in the field, if I was getting 1 snap or getting 80. It's just winning is great for the team. Thank you for the question.
How was it playing alongside DJ Turner and watching his amazing performance and also learning from him?
Playing next to BJ has taught me so much. He's a lot of experience over the last few years, and just being able to learn from him, being able to play next to him has been a blessing. Thank you for the question.
Any other questions for Kade? Thank you, Kade. Great
All right,
job,
appreciate y'all.
I forgot to mention we're at home this week after a month, so please come out to Truist Stadium on Saturday, 4 o'clock kickoff start against Villanova. We need the place packed. Going to be a tough conference game for us. As usual, we're going to transition to our radio show featuring Coach Brown and Donald Ware. While we transition to that, please get in line and have some lunch.